ain't very nice. They're called gunners. So if you see any, make sure you stay far away from them, all right? Okay, now, I gotta go. But wherever you are, stay safe. I'll see you again soon, sweetheart.
Hey, Jake.
Oh, hey, darling. Didn't hear you come in. Turns out our radio connection between the hub and the ASAMs works just fine. I was just recording a message for someone.
What are you hiding?
Yeah. Well, after the whole gunner thing, I just... well... It's kind of... this is awkward. Was sort of hoping to keep this private. What I wouldn't give for an interruption right now.
Search complete.
Huh? Oh, right. I asked the robot to find my screwdriver. Good timing. I don't mean to question your logic, Chip, but... does that look like a screwdriver to you?
Affirmative.
You know what? You're right. Turns out this hammer is my screwdriver after all. Good work. Now why don't you go patrol or something?
Protect and serve.
That bot ain't right.
Anything I can do to help?
Tell you what, darling. If you can find my screwdriver, I'll tell you who I was recording a message for. It's probably past time I told you anyway. Sound fair?
All right. Deal.
All right, then. We have ourselves a gentleman's agreement.
Here.
Hey, you found it. Thanks. Was driving me nuts looking for this thing. Okay, you held up your side of the deal. I'll spill the beans on who I was recording that message for. You ready for a little history of Jake?
Tell me the whole story.
All right, full backstory it is. So, as I'm sure you already figured out, I'm not exactly local to these parts. I come from a settlement called Sanford. You ever heard of it? It's a nice place, providing you don't mind the odd cyclone or two.
Where's that town?
Oh, it's quite a long way from here. Way down in the southwestern parts of the waste. Anyway, that's where I grew up and became a young man. And where I met this young woman. One thing led to another, and... well, you know how it goes. You met someone and had a son, and I met someone and had a...
Do you have a daughter?
Yeah, that's right. I had a little girl. I named her Laura. And from the moment she was born, that kid became my world. What the... oh, that damn generator again! This is the 5th time it's stalled today!
Well, if something's wrong, maybe I can help.
It's the old plutonium well. The generator that kickstarts the fission reaction. It's been real temperamental lately. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, could you go get it started again for me? It probably just needs refueling.
All is well.
Hey, robot.
Protect and serve.
I assume you can fix that?
Affirmative. Please stand by.
Ah, got the generator humming again, I see. Thanks. It's no fun trying to work in the dark. Now, where was I? Oh, right. So, years pass, and Laura grows up. However, me and her mom, Caitlin, we ended up drifting apart and separating. But I'd still see Laura all the time, though. And when she'd stay with her mom, we'd keep in touch through radio. So, one day, I broadcasted our usual radio time to say goodnight. But there's no response. Now, you gotta understand, Laura's the most punctual kid you'd ever meet. She was never late for anything. Naturally, I began to panic a little, worrying if something bad might have happened to her. So I rushed over to Caitlin's house and...
Multiple hostile targets detected. Requesting backup.
Huh? Hostile targets? What is that robot?
Flee, 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 flee.
Oh, for crying out loud. Could you go lend the bucket of bolts a hand? As annoying as it can be sometimes, it'd be a pain in the ass to have to rebuild it.
Excuse me.
Thanks for dealing with that. Now, let's see if I can finish my story. So, I arrive at Caitlin's house, gun in hand and ready for the worst. I open the door and there was no one there.
Come again? What do you mean?
At first I thought someone must have broken into the place, abducted Caitlin and my kid. But the more I looked around, the more I realized everything was tidy. No signs of struggle. And then I noticed all their belongings were missing. I ran to Laura's room. All her toys, books, even her ham radio was gone. They hadn't been kidnapped. They just packed up and left.
Do you know where she went?
I checked around the house, but there were no clues to where they'd gone. Well, there's no way in hell I was gonna let Caitlin just disappear with my daughter. After asking around, I found out they booked passage on a caravan. They'd set off that very morning. I dashed back home, gathered a few essentials, and set off in pursuit.
That's awful. No parent should have to lose their child.
You'd know that better than most. Anyway, I tracked that damn caravan halfway across the wasteland. By the time I caught up with it, it had made its final stop. Here, in the Commonwealth. Caitlin and Laura had already departed, but I knew where they were now. Since then, I've put out a radio message every night, hoping Laura might hear it. Know that her dad is out here looking for her. After our little run-in with the gunners, I needed to warn her to stay away from him. I know she probably won't hear it, but still, I had to try.
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I've not really spoken to anyone about Laura since I got here. Unless you count the Ron. Anyway, thanks for listening. Feels good to finally share. Get everything off my chest. Oh, what is it now? Feral dwarves? Irradiated death claws?
What?
Thank you, friend.
What's all this about death claws?
Oh, old Paul! Sorry, I wasn't expecting visitors.
Is something up?
Well, cheese and crackers. You must be the ones with the ASM sensors, eh?
Me and my partner here, yeah. And they're called ASAMs.
Is it true what the old geezer said? Can ASMs really help build up settlements?
Well, sure, as long as what your settlement needs are some homes or farms or a scrap heap. But I should warn you, recently there's been some trouble with...
Gee, a scrap heap. Well, that settles it. We'll take 100 ASMs, please. How many caps does that come to?
Whoa, slow down. We're not just peddling some product here. Besides, I'm not even sure we should be handing these things out anymore.
What do you mean? Why not?
Hey, don't tell me you've already forgotten. That Aiden guy may have been a Brahmin's ass, but he did have a point. It's a fair bet that settlement got attacked because they used ASAMs. Who's to say the same thing wouldn't happen again?
Maybe you're right.
I'm just not sure it's right to give out sensors to random settlements no more. Not if it puts them in danger.
If you're concerned about giving sensors out to strangers, why not have them join us instead? I've got no problem defending those we bring into the fold.
Hey, we'd be happy to join with ya. Right now we're kind of living rough, so whatever it takes to get some ASMs, eh?
I don't know.
You need to decide, Jake. What's it gonna be?
I don't know. After the whole Gunner thing. What do you think, darling? What's the right thing to do?
Tell me about the options.
Well, we could let them join us, but if we do that, we might just be making them a target. That's why I'm not sure what to do.
Don't worry. I'll get you up and running.
Really? You'd have us? Oh, geez, thanks.
I still think we're maybe asking for trouble, but I think you're right. We can't be scared to help folks. Okay, let's do this.
Oh, you really don't know what this means to us. Thank you so much.
No problem. Welcome to the family. Sorry, what's your name?
Hubert. Here, I'll mark where we're staying on your Pip-Boy. I'll run ahead and tell the others. Meet you there, eh?
I'll tag along with the youngin'. I'm fairly familiar with sensors by now. I'll get his people up to speed before you arrive.
Here, darling, take these. A few extra ASAMs, in case you need them. Let's get these folks up and running. And if the gunners do show up again, well, we'll just have to put them in their place, won't we? I'm gonna get back to repairing the hub. Oh, and thanks again for listening today. Good luck now.
Day of the week, Hubert. Couldn't you have taken just one day off?
Initiating search for hostile. Commencing attack on hostile target.
What's the harm in just here on the mountain?
I know this seems out there, and I was doubtful myself, but
See? Here they are now. I told ya. All our building problems are solved.
You really are an idiot, Hubert. After I've dealt with this, remind me to explain the meaning of low profile to you. Okay, that's far enough.
Wait a second. Are you threatening me?
Ah, great. Another Hubert. Yes, I am threatening you. Do as I say, or I will be forced to hurt you.
Who are you supposed to be?
I'm the one with a gun telling you to put down your weapon. How is this hard to understand?
Calm down. Let's talk this out.
There's nothing to talk about. Hubert may have asked to join you, but he doesn't speak for all of us. And I don't for a second believe what he or this old man say about these ASM sensors.
ASAMs.
ASAM, whatever. Look, I don't want to hurt you, but I don't trust your reasons for being here. So please, just hand over your weapon.
But I want to help you guys.
All right, fine. You can hold on to your weapon. I better not regret this.
See, Stodge? No shooting. I told you it was all good. No one's here to hurt us. So why not listen about the Asums now, eh?
What is it?
I'll listen, but I'm still not convinced these things are the answer to a new home.
I want to help, but I don't like the secrecy. Who are you really?
Considering you've not shot any of us yet, I suppose there's no harm in telling you. You ever heard of the Gunners? They're a merc group with a nasty mean streak. I actually used to run with them a couple of decades ago. Back then, they weren't so bad. But recently, they've been making a real nuisance of themselves, laying claim to territory all over the Commonwealth. Their most recent claim was our settlement. They annexed it. So we ran. Now we're just trying to lay low and rebuild what we lost. But, if you ask me, the Gunners are up to something. They were never this territorial before. If you happen to run into any of them, watch yourself.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're preparing for a dance number. What does it look like we're doing?
Stodge, don't be an ass. It's a fair question.
Oh, okay. We're trying to build ourselves a new home. Hubert here was meant to be looking for supplies and materials we could use, all whilst keeping a low profile so that he wouldn't draw any attention to us. Instead, he signs us up to some kind of construction scheme and brings back a bunch of strangers. So you'll forgive me if I seem a little pissed.
What would it take to convince you?
Okay, even if I did believe these ASAMs do everything I've been told, how do I know we could trust you? We just had our old home taken from us by goddamn mercenaries. Had to flee just so we wouldn't become indentured workers. So I can't say I'm thrilled with the idea of us running, only to be leashed by some new landlord, making promises they can't keep. Even if these senses of yours work, I'd need to know we're not signing over our independence and freedom. I need to know you're on the level.
All people want to be free. They just need the opportunity to take it.
And just what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Exactly what she said. The sensors just provide you the means, but the responsibility's on you. You put in the work, and what you build is yours. Now that sure sounds like independence and freedom to me.
Well, when you put it like that. Okay, I'll go along with this whole sensor thing. We'll join with you. You better not try and screw us over.
Oh, great. With Stodge on board, everyone else will fall right in line.
But I've one condition, and it's non-negotiable. We'll join with you, and use your sensors. But you gotta let us decide how we use them. If we're gonna make a new home, then we should have the say in how it's built.
I'm not sure I trust you know what you're doing.
Hold on a second. Isn't the whole point of your ASAMs that pretty much anyone can use them? I'm fairly sure we'll be able to figure things out. We're not all on the same level as Hubert, you know.
Fair enough.
All right. Well then, I think we can make this work. Okay, everyone, listen up. This is how we're gonna do things. We need to decide on a leader. Someone who can take charge of the building effort, and then run the place once construction's done. Most of us have skills that'd be useful in a leadership position. So anyone who thinks they're up to the task, step forward and make yourself known. I'll go first.
Hi, how are you?
What the? I can't say I expected Hubert to step forward. But what are you doing, old man? You're not one of us.
I've already benefited from the sensors. If I can, I'd like to return some of the kindness shown to me and help you people out. I know I may not look like much, but I've been around a while. Reckon I could offer some useful guidance, at least until you're on your feet.
Fair enough. But all three of us can't lead. We'll have to pick just one of us.
Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't you decide who gets put in charge? I think you'd probably choose a good leader.
Why do I have to be involved in this?
Well, you're kind of already involved. I mean, we are joining you, eh? And it's thanks to you and your assoms we're able to do this. Plus, I think you make a good choice in picking the best person to lead us.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Well, I suppose the person would run the settlement. They'd be like the mayor or something. Although, everyone's got their own ideas on how to do stuff, so you should keep that in mind when you choose someone.
All right, I'll do it.
Well, that's all kinds of fantastic. I can't wait to see who you pick.
How could old Paul help you?
Hey there.
Made your pick, have you?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm old Paul. What else is there to know? I suppose I could tell you how old I am, but honestly, I can't remember. I used to live up in Diamond City. I owned a gun store up there. I made the best guns in the Commonwealth. You ever hear of the Broken Mask incident? It was one of my guns that took down that haywire synth. But after that, I didn't feel much like staying in town. So I took up the life of a scaver. And it suited me just fine. But old age has a way of creeping up on you, slowing you down. So I suppose you could say I'm retired now.
Okay, say your piece.
You mean, what would I do if I was in charge? Guns! Guns for everyone! Nothing says settlement safety like everyone carrying a loaded firearm. And I guess I could share some of my expertise from my days as a scaver. Show everyone the right way to strip down salvage and how to properly maintain things. Youngsters don't know how to care for stuff these days.
I'll think about it and get back to you.
Alrighty, take your time.
Hey,
Excuse me.
how's it going, eh? Got someone in mind for the job?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh boy, where to start? Well, I was born, then I was a baby for a while, then a whole bunch of stuff happened. And naturally, I ended up joining the Children of Adam. Nice guys, but a bit too serious. So I left them and went walkabout, and then I met Stodge. Saved me from a real big mole rat. Then eventually me, Stodge, and some others formed a settlement. Then we lost it. Then we came here. Think that's about everything.
Okay, say your piece.
Oh, like, what would I do if I was in charge? Whew, that's a head scratcher for sure. Well, suppose I could ask my old church friends to help out. You know, if we're ever in trouble or something. And I guess just try and make the people happy. A smile can go a long way, you know? Just don't ask me to keep no town records or nothing. I ain't much for bookkeeping and stuff. Too many numbers, you know?
I still haven't decided.
Oh, okay then.
Oh, it's you.
Huh?
Huh? You made up your mind?
It would be nice to know more about you.
What? Am I story time stodge now? What would you even want to know? How about that I'm a ghoul? Probably didn't notice that, did you? I'm not one of those decrepit pre-war ones, though. Although, I am pretty old. Old enough to have been a gunner. Back when that title was still worth something. But that was long ago. These days, I'm more concerned with keeping me and mine safe from anything the Commonwealth can throw at us. Which is a lot.
Okay, say your piece.
What? I gotta sell myself? Fine. If you put me in charge, you can expect things to be efficient and done right. I run a tight ship, and I don't take no crap. I'd put my focus on defense and making sure everyone pays their dues. And if people don't like it, they can suck it.
I'll have to think about...
Fine.
Huh?
Hello?
Huh? Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Made your pick, have you?
I've made my choice.
I'm all ears. Who'd you go with?
How about you?
Aha! This old goat still got some life left in him after all.